Alrighty, we're live. So we have two kind of topics we're gonna be talking about. I don't know how long this is gonna be, so it's just an impromptu. I've been kind of busy lately, and yeah, just wanted to talk. So we were talking before we went on air. We talked about the Randy Pitchford situation where he talked about, or he rather sang on air about bigots and stuff like that, which is really I don't know if you can call it cringy or just mind-boggling, because how you can 1,000 people watching and you start singing on air about bigots and gamergaters and uh,
Yeah,
whatever. Jesus Christ.
that was rather silly of him.
I really do think that it into like how these bigger developers go with these things a lot of the times. Because if you really think about it, these are the people that did Borderlands, right?
Yeah,
I
Gearbox.
mean, have you ever noticed Borderlands to be entirely PC? I mean, through its characters and all that, is it really something that's compatible with the social justice, game plan? The guy, like I haven't seen it. As I've told you guys, I haven't seen this. I'm not keeping up with PAX because I really usually don't keep up with these things anymore. Not since Honey Badgers got kicked out from one of the events because of having the Gamergate stuff. But situations like, to me it seems, is in development of a game like that, like Borderlands or any of the other Gearbox titles, it's not social justice. So what it seems to be is like if he got up in front of 1,000 people, whipped out a guitar, I assume an acoustic guitar.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was acoustic.
This dead on sounds like trolling to hit both sides of the market, but people like the social justice side is going to see it and be like, oh, this guy's an ally. The Gamergate side is going to see it and be like, this motherfucker's trolling. And that's what it sounds like to me, is the guy is mockery of it, but enough of it to be a Poe. So this is Poe's law in action. You can't really tell if he's going to be serious, especially with the nature of how he's doing it.
Yeah.
in the crowd there were like a few hundred maybe, but watching there were like thousands of people watching, and then I saw the chat replay, and they were they were either laughing or they were white knighting him. So
You
it,
got to think that that's going to be the instant reaction. Is going to be the people who are going to laugh their asses off, and the people who think he's honest and sincere are either going to go after him or they're going to try to protect him. And it's where in the fan base you lie.
Yeah, basically.
yeah, because we are we actually, sorry if there's a little bit noise in the background. It's the kitty. Um, but the Gamergate anniversary did just happen recently,
2
and
years, baby. We're not dead yet.
yeah,
It's 2 years. 2 years, hasn't it been? Just about, since Gamergate itself became a semi-popular thing.
Yeah, it was Adam Baldwin? No.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
correct.
Adam Baldwin coined the term on August 27th with a pair of YouTube
Well,
videos talking about the whole. It actually was a pair of Internet Aristocrat videos.
Yeah, because it started out like the August 15th with Money Matt, and then the conspiracy, and then August 28th or something, he coined the term Gamergate. After,
27th.
yeah, it's 27th.
yeah.
And
I
I mean,
gotta say, I still eat at Five Guys even after that.
That's a
Oh
good
my
burger.
god, those burgers are freaking amazing.
You know what? But you know what I like more than the burgers over there?
Huh.
The Cajun fries.
Oh, the Cajun fries, but get like some Hormel chili and some nacho cheese sauce. Mix
Oh,
that together and
yeah.
make chili cheese fries. It's amazing.
It's terrible for you, and you will have the worst heartburn in the world. But damn if it is not an amazing meal.
Well,
See, Orange here knows what I'm talking about. Andrew, I'm sorry you're over in Norway. You will never experience this awesomeness.
yeah, I got no.
You gotta come
I
to
got
the
no
land of
idea.
Amerifats and try this amazingness.
And it is a mess.
I kind of want to look at it historically, because after Gamergate like started, it's kind of been low activity since, I would say. I mean, the first few months just blew up. Everything was happening so quick, and then it kind of calmed down, and we've seen events happen and then and there. And do you guys reckon that Gamergate kind of started the landslide that is the anti-SJW crowd of speaking out on the internet? Because I've seen like larger channels become big after Gamergate. I mean, it's not really the cause. You can't really link all these. I mean, Gamergate and all these people, but causation doesn't equal correlation. But I see a correlation between the like Bearing, Computing Forever, Undoomed, Blair White, and all these people becoming big in the last 2 years after Gamergate blew up. Do you guys reckon it's kind of because Gamergate made such a ruckus in 2014?
You know, I don't think entirely. I think the whole Gamergate thing really gave the anti-social justice crowd a foothold to work with. I mean, it always existed. I think we saw quite a bit of it on B, specifically on 4chan. B was very no, and I mean this in a lot of.
No.
I'm being actually quite serious about this. That there was a very like it was B was very much the epitome of the anti-social justice, relegated to its own corner because it could not get a foothold anywhere else. And with the corruption that was put forth, and the whole "Gamers Are Dead" articles, I think there was a sudden change of, oh hey, there's some really scummy people out here doing some really scummy things, and they're trying to paint a wide swath of people with a very broad brush, and do a bunch of really nasty shit.
Well, here's the thing. Like, with Gamergate itself, me and another person that I actually used to affiliate with online a lot, but she's recently, for personal reasons, Simplicity. Me and her actually got started with Consulting Orange Radio, which was some time ago. But we used to thing all the time, and we'd never been to 4chan. Because for years, even before that, do game reviews because they're always shit. You can't actually divine how a game's going to be by reading a review. You haven't been able to since Nintendo Power started getting into this crap. Downhill. Yeah, Nintendo Power. Dating myself a little bit on that one.
Back in the no, I'm gonna date you even further. Sega Visions.
Oh God. Jesus.
Get on my level, scrub.
But like the point I'm trying to make here is that Gamergate influenced a lot of people from varying places, but we already knew that we couldn't trust games journalism. We just didn't have the examples to slap forth to say, look, here's a clear sign of this obvious corruption. Gamergate gave us those tools to be able to speak out against these things with evidence. Because we already knew. I mean, seriously.
That was the other big thing.
I mean, for years, I'm sure you knew that you can't trust a games journalist. They're fucking paid out the ass by the companies that make the goddamn games.
Didn't used to be that way though.
Yeah, back in fucking Super Mario and Duck Hunt. Fucking love Duck Hunt. But, you know, we've known the games journalism was bullshit. Just because, you know, awful games would get these super high reviews and always get these low reviews because they weren't by a well-established company. I mean, you know, take a look at how bad Jack-specific games were.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those were always very highly rated, but they're awful games. And it's a large company, so they could afford to pay more to advertisers. Advertisers work with the magazines and the games journalist reviewers, and thus we got stuck with shitty reviews for games that we didn't want to play. So
yeah,
brought us to this area where we can be like, look, here's all the evidence. And what was it, Deep Freeze?
Yeah.
Yes.
The big archive base of all the obvious corruption stuff. That really helped with people like me and Simplicity who weren't necessarily big on 4chan, where a lot of these Gamergaters were, but still be able to work with these peoples, like through, we mainly use Twitter. About 40 of the damn things. I keep forgetting the damn password. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this computer doesn't die because I don't remember the fucking password to mine.
Yeah, but we've seen like the mentality of SGW coming into academia, and I mean we have Black Lives Matter and all these other political things. Do you think do you think there's a correlation between or is it just the current political climate that's done this, and not just Gamergate that's been exposing this?
Well, think of it like the shot heard around the world. The start of the revolution, that's what Gamergate was. It was a shot. Fire that started the entire downward spiral. And once we had that voice to speak out, we were going to speak out. So I think Gamergate could be tied to everybody suddenly starting to speak out and look for this kind of content and become more attuned to it. But I can't say 100% cause, because if you get down to it, the corruption was the cause. But Gamergate was the shot that started the war.
Yeah, that's actually a fair point. Because seeing all of these stories the last few years, because previous to that, I wasn't really that into like being that politically active. At least on I wasn't even active on Twitter before Gamergate, or making really that many YouTube videos or things like that. So I was basically just a normie on GameSpot, and after Gamergate, I got banned. I even got IP banned from GameSpot because I called them out on their shitty shit. And now I'm seeing. I have a. I mean, it's a small channel, but I try to talk about political stuff, and I see this being snuck into my country. I mean, we see this all the time, but in the U.S. and Britain and Germany. But I've seen this now come into my country as well. Because today I saw, it's not the SGW crowd, but it's the Christian this time wanting to have a filter on porn provided by the ISPs, and like there was a rape case recently where where the I think there were 2 or 3 people or men who were basically found innocent, but then this whole rape culture thing or discussion started happening here, which just I had to roll my eyes because it's so stupid. It's not that big here yet, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But I've seen I mean, we are neighbors to Sweden, and we see how bad that is. Because I saw a documentary about how they let people in the fire department who weren't really qualified because they wanted diversity. They let untrained women and who weren't really qualified because they wanted diversity. It's so bad right now in Sweden, where you have small places. It's one small town called Little Mogadishu, which is really bad. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I know I've talked a lot, but when you're looking at these social justice movements of the recent times, I'm not talking about the old civil rights movements, because those were perfectly fine in my book because they were civil rights. Understandable why those came about. But these new movements that you're seeing, virus, if you see it, it starts to seep in. And the more it seeps in and the more it's allowed to happen, the further it's going to spread. I hate to say it, but you only see the infection of this, and it's going to spread, and there's probably not a thing you can do about it. I actually don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm just going to say you. You have this potential for what Americans don't have anymore, what the English, they don't have anymore. You have the potential to stop it where it stands. And the only way you're going to do that is counter-protesting. You're going to have to go and talk to these people, and in some cases you may have to shout them down, because they will be louder if you let them.
Yeah, because that's what happened to me. I've said this on a few streams before, but I encountered a feminist, a male feminist on during a party. During a
Hey
party.
guys, I gotta bounce. Got some other stuff to take care of.
Okay, well, see
Bye.
you later.
Good chatting with you. Take it easy.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
Yeah, because I met this male feminist, and I wasn't really interested in having a conversation, but it goes to what you're saying when they're trying to be louder than you. And I was just having a chat with this girl who was having a little bit of issues, and then this guy comes over and says, "Hey, how are you? And are you do you believe in equal rights?" And I'm like, sure. Then you're a feminist. And I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? I'm having a beer here, talking to someone, and this douchebag comes over and starts to talk feminism, and I'm like, dude, I'm not a feminist. I look at both genders equally, so I'm an egalitarian. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only label I will really give myself.
Well, here's the piss off any male feminist that walks up to you and asks that question. You say, I believe in the equality of opportunity, but not the equality of outcome.
Well, it did. I did actually piss him off, because he started saying that women had it so bad and are oppressed and shit like that. And then I asked him, okay, why is it that if it's so bad, why were the feminist group there's a feminist group here which they are batshit insane, but no one listens to them. They were outside a theater and protesting 50 Shades of Grey, and saying it was sexist and all that shit, rape culture. You know all the buzzwords, right? And
is that the most watered down BDSM film ever?
Yeah, no, but it's like soccer mom porn. It's what they say it here. How to call it? And I asked him. I was polite. I didn't swear or anything. I was just calling him out and saying, if this is so so much oppression, why was it written by a woman? And he didn't really have any comeback. Then he tried to move the goalpost. Goddamn cat is making noise. And then he tried to move the goalpost by saying that there was a rape culture in the main city, Oslo, and that all women. He made that assertion that all women were afraid going out at night.
Let me ask you one question on that.
Yeah.
Is rape legal in Oslo?
Nope.
Rape culture. Period. I'm sorry. That is the only stipulation to be part of a culture, is it has to be widely accepted by that culture. It's not a rape culture. Shut the fuck up, guys. Come on.
Yeah, but I didn't even go that route. I just asked him. So you know all women in Oslo who were afraid, and he said, "Well, I know a few." And they told me. So anecdotal evidence means that all women are afraid in Oslo. So how is and that's basically when he just turned away and ran. Which I wasn't even really having. I wasn't really having a discussion. I was just more questioning him than actually confronting him. So. Those are my those are my run-ins with social justice. I mean, I've said this also before, but they tried to go to election here at the local elections with the Feminist Party, and they got less than 1% in votes. So they're not really popular here.
For that. Well, you got to think, man, that you've got. Like I said, you've got a wonderful chance to shut this down before it gets bad. We don't have that here in America anymore. We're fucked. We've got all these Black Lives Matter protesters. I had to deal with a pair of these idiots outside of Haskell University. Now, if you're listening and you don't know, it's a Native American college in Lawrence, Kansas. And I personally... I've taken a few classes there. I skirted in with the 1/4 Blackfoot thing. But signs that say the HR department is bullying them and that they're being oppressed. And I'm looking at these two, and I understand exactly what they're talking about because they're Mexicans. And they're legal. They're legal Mexicans, but Mexicans don't qualify as a Native American. So they don't fall under that. So if you are 3/4 Hispanic and 1/4 Cherokee, it's a large possibility you're not going to be able to get into Haskell University. And the reason for that is they have a quotient. You have to be so much of one of the native tribes to be able to come in. And these people are protesting outside because they couldn't get into certain classes that they weren't educated to take, and that's why they were being rejected. Okay, well, I'll look this up and figure out what the deal is, because they're trying to quote all these things to me about, well, we can't take this class, and we can't take this class, and one of them is a biology major, and the other is a doctorate in medicine. Okay, so you want to be a biology major. Did you take any classes, like the base science classes that you have to do to become a biology major? No. Did you take any of the base classes to become a doctor? No. So why the hell do you think you should be allowed to take classes far beyond your understanding just because? And they don't ever have an answer. They just yell at me because, frankly, for somebody with I'm pretty goddamn white, and it's the Romani in me. You know, it's gypsies are white.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Okay. I also encountered. I encountered the kind of feminist thing what was it? Yeah, last autumn, where we had a because I'm doing a few courses in business and economics, and basically this
Yeah.
a woman basically spewed that this is 100% real. I could even find the lectures where she had this, where she basically said masculinity was the root of all evil. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay. Let me completely douse this because this has actually been some of the classes that it's technically called annexing classes. You go in and you hear the lectures and everything, and you do the class like you would normally, but you're not there to get a degree, you're just there to learn. And there's some very unique opportunities for people who want to learn about these things. So one of the ones that I had annexed back, I think in 2005, 2006, somewhere around 05 to 06, because I was annexing classes both at Haskell and over at KU. It's people think that masculinity is another word for being animalistic. We have animalistic tendencies that we have tried to fight against for thousands of years. Since we evolved from apes, we have been fighting being animals. What they're trying to say masculinity is animal tendencies. Awareness of your area, paranoia, violent tendencies. These are all animal behaviors. They're not masculine in nature, they're animal in nature. And true, we are trying to fight against these sorts of behaviors, like hyper-violent behavior, but that has absolutely fuck all to do with being male. It has to do with we evolved from angry apes.
Yeah,
like, it's me because people think that males have all of these tendencies that are anti-emotion and anti, other people. It's sort of antisocial behavior. But that is present through the entire species of Homo sapien. Like, we're all paranoid creatures. The thing that we have to learn to do is to suppress being violent, to suppress being paranoid, to suppress being aware of everything, because it makes us more paranoid and thus more violent. This is what you learn if you take a gender studies class and a biology class.
Yeah, I don't really see the why you are supposed to take a gender study thing if you're taking biology. That makes no sense to me.
Like I said, I just annexed classes, so I was just there to learn, and it was suggested to me that I annexed the gender studies class, and I was already in the science field because I was like, you know what, this is something I'm interested in, I want to learn more about it. It was suggested to me, I needed to fill out an extracurricular, it counted. So
Yeah, I kind of see that. But it is apparent. I mean, we've seen journalism as well be part of this. I mean, we see the bigger mainstream sites also buy into this. Not that mainstream media has been the pillar of ethical behavior, but they're kind of buying into this. I mean, the most recent example I can think of is Don Lemon being basically bitch slapped by that sheriff. What's his name? Clark something. I can't remember his name.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's a really outspoken sheriff of, I think, Milwaukee or something. County sheriff of Milwaukee, something like that. Where he was calm, and but he wasn't talking the same points everyone else was. He was calling Don Lemon and the channel or the news outlet itself because they were skewing facts, and they were supporting. He asked if he supported Black Lives Matter, or if he condemned the actions, what happened in Baton Rouge or whatever it was, And Donovan wouldn't say anything because he didn't want to put an opinion out there or take sides, which is bullshit because he's actually taking sides by not condemning it. So,
well, here's the thing: these news outlets are sponsored by advertisers. These advertisers quite often dictate both the narrative and the content that you see. Especially with U.S. media like Fox News, MSNBC, CNN. These people are all paid by advertisers. Otherwise, they would not exist. And the advertisers want to push this narrative because this narrative is based against the majority of people. And that makes conflict. Conflict equals more viewers. Because conflict is fun to watch. Look at YouTube drama, how often it gets completely blown out of proportion, and it thousands of views for things that are utterly irrelevant. Look at what the fuck is his name? The kangaroo guy.
Yeah, atheism is unstoppable.
Just everybody who did a video on that, it blew up because it's controversy. Controversy leads to more views. More viewers leads to more money. So they're stirring up controversy specifically for the money of it.
Yeah, that is actually cool, and that's where the clickbait stems from. When I think middle of 2000, when people started doing that by basically just having a sensational headline, and article is about something completely different, or basically you're either trying to have some controversy or lying to your to the consumer of your content. And this goes back to Gamergate, where people just were fed up. I mean, gamers are often the people on the front of technology because the gamers are usually the ones that tend to follow what's the most recent thing when it comes to technology. I mean, PC gamers, huh?
It's really competitive gamers. Like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that aren't so competitive that kind of get back behind in the stuff, but gamers, they want the best they want the best computer, they want the best video card, sound card, and everything, and so they can stay competitive, which is why a lot of the Gamergaters, who are often the more competitive players, like Team Fortress 2, Overwatch as of late, you know, these big games with this competitive gameplay and the leaderboards and all that, that's what they want. They want their name on that leaderboard, and that drives them to get the best stuff. And it keeps them on the edge of where we are in technology.
Yeah, that is true. So when there are gamers that see this shit, they're the first one to see it, and everyone else kind of follows along because gamers are the first one to. I mean, if you can grind for a piece of armor for 3 months in World of Warcraft, you don't mind spending a few days grinding away at some journalist telling you he's a shithead or he's wrong. So, I mean, grinding is what gamers do. Repetition, and achieving their goal. So that's why Gamergate, even though the hashtag isn't really that active, to be honest, but I see the kind of the mindset of being critical being spread because of it.
It's skeptic behavior, and the way I can akin it to a game would be consider Gamergate Dark Souls process. They're getting more information, more stuff, whatever they need to, or what they want to say. And because Gamergate is this way, it's often akin to an impossible task that becomes possible over time. And if it becomes possible that we can point where we as gamers are back in the lead for what mainstream media is focusing on, because back on games being for the gamers, then it now seems impossible, but it's entirely possible with time and effort. And the reason I can speculate that Gamergate's been so quiet lately is staying out of the radar for now. And once they have another big hit, it'll come. Look at what happened with Mombot. I mean, she went through with this whole elaborate scheme, and the long game of it was to expose these people to be pro-doxing. And over, I think it was months, this other person was in there and was feeding information, fake information to these people who were on the anti-Gamergate side. And then, bam, they went ahead and were like, okay, yeah, let's freaking dox this person. And, it's the slow grinding, but it's our mindset, because there's always an end game to every action that you do. And if you plan for the end game, you're planning for victory rather than losing. And that's just my mindset on it. I could be wrong, but
yeah, I could also use another analogy. If there's a new boss and you have to get a raid together and you grind at it to get better gear and try to figure out the tactics of the boss and actually beat it in the end, which can take up to weeks to actually accomplish. So that's what I like to use the analogy.
Major reason that anti-Gamergate is so vitriolic against Gamergate is because they are tactics. They don't want to improve on what they can do. It's using the same moves over and over, and we found out the pattern. Yeah. And that means that we will beat this boss over and over again until it gets either some new tricks or it just gets overpowered, which is what we have to prevent as products. If they get the new move of the developers listening to everything they say, we are screwed. So we have to vote with our paychecks and with our wallets to make sure that these people, if they have anything to do with the game, and it's a shit game because of it, we don't buy that game. They pull out content that we want, don't buy that game. Don't buy any content for it. Because if you don't, then you end up with a situation of this is hitting them in their wallets. And that's where we have to hit the game developers, in the wallet. Because that's what matters when you're developing a game, because it takes time, effort, energy, and money. And if they're not making that money back, then everything else is wasted.
Yeah, and I mean, I look at the Manvia era situation where the guy has been spewing a racist shit all over. I've said in the open letter I made here, where I'm not gonna give them a cent, because games are pretty expensive where I live, because they cost twice as much as in the States. So I'm not gonna actually give them money. I'm gonna buy it used or something. I'm not gonna give EA money if they're gonna have a person on that actually hates me because of my skin color. So they're not gonna get my money. It's that simple.
Yeah, which makes sense.
I mean,
there's very few way to want to pay for a game that the person who made it.
Yeah, and we also saw No Man's Sky, which is one big shit show. I believe they had a drop off of 90% of their users after like the first 2 weeks or something, because there's nothing to do in that game, and they lied to their user base with false advertisement, all that shit.
Well, yeah, it was kind of a piss poor game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but the issue here is not the game itself, because the game is the game, but the stuff that Sean Murray actually said before the game, what was gonna be in the game, and that stuff is nowhere to be seen. And he said this like a couple of weeks before the game even launched, and he promised all these features. And when the game launches, there's so many. It's not even funny how little content there is in the game. It's doing the same shit all over again. I mean, I'm sure there are people who like doing that stuff, but I mean, the biggest fuck you was at the center of the galaxy. There's fucking nothing. That's the biggest like fuck you to the to the people who bought the game. They were grinding away at the fucking game for hours and days even, and they managed to have the supplies to go to the center of the universe. And he teased like there was gonna be something big there, and there was one journalist. It's all in Angry Joe's video where he talks about this. But
spoilers, by the way, people. Spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm not a good person. If you haven't played it yet, don't. It's a fucking waste of time.
Yeah, basically. But this journalist like asked in a joking manner, there's certainly not gonna be a nothing, or it's just gonna be a big tease for the gamers. And Sean Murray just laughs and says, "No, it's gonna be fantastic," or something like that. And it's the biggest fuck you ever. It's way worse than Mass Effect 3's ending, because at least there's an ending. Whether you like it or not, that's subjective. I don't really want to get into that. Personally, I didn't think it was the best ending, but it's not the disaster everyone is making out to be. But that's beside the point. This is a shamble, where if I were to compare it to Mass Effect, it would be basically just Shepard say, "Oh fuck it," and he shoots himself. That's the end. That would be the worst thing ever. Because what the fuck? You put this big thing in the game, or you tease it to be a big thing in the game, and the be and all for the game, and there's nothing there. I can't even imagine the disappointment of the guy who went to the center of the galaxy and found fucking nothing.
Well, you've got to think, man. Like, this entire game is built around grinding. It's built around building everything up, building everything up, building everything up. And I didn't play the Mass Effect series. I got about 10 minutes into the first one and got fucking bored. I wasn't a fan, but
yeah, I mean, games are subjective, but it goes to the fact that if you're gonna have a massive game like what was it, 18 quintillion planets or some shit like that, and
to be fair on that, it's 18 quintillion possibilities of planets.
Yeah.
And it's because it's done entirely by random generation. You change one tree to a different location on another planet, that's a completely different planet. And that's a lot of the stuff that they didn't tell users was that, yeah, there's 18 quintillion possibilities. That's 500 planets, 500 organisms, and 500 planets, with at most 500 some resources to get. And you add that all together, randomize it over 18 quintillion planets, and you've got something semi-unique every time, but a lot of the stuff's going to look the same, because it's just the same assets reused on a different planet.
Yeah.
To the center of the galaxy thing, being nothing, mean, in some aspects, you could think of it as a cruel joke by the developers that is in itself inspiring in the fact that at the center of this vast galaxy, there is nothing. It is nothingness. You have literally traveled your entire time for a waste of time. Could have been something at the center of the fucking galaxy. A star, a black hole. But if it's literally nothing, just more shitty planets, then fuck you guys.
Yeah.
For me, I detest grinding for hours. I can't fucking do it anymore. When I was younger, I played World of Warcraft, and it fucking burned me out on grinding. All the fucking mining for resources, all the fucking skinning and tanning and killing shitty monsters that you kill in one hit for 4 hours just to make a shirt.
Yeah.
I lost interest in grinding because it's just like, yeah, as you get new resources, it gets more and more interesting, but eventually you're going to run out of new shit to get, and then you're going to run out of interest. And the moment you run out of interest, the game's done. So No Man's Sky is probably a 5-minute game with fucking 64 hours of grinding. Fuck it, man. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, because what I took from Angry Joe's video, I'm not like the biggest fan of Angry Joe, but I will say that he's actually really good when it comes to getting value for your money when it comes to reviewing games. Movies and all this other stuff, it's so and so. And he's kind of in the SGW kind of mindset. Anyways, but that's beside the point. But when you have someone like Angry Joe actually saying this game is utter shit. But the beginning of the game was actually really awe-inspiring. He said, because you see this planet, you just get dropped into a planet somewhere, and you don't know what to do. You just figure it out, and then you go off the planet, and you see another planet, and hey, I'm gonna go there, and that's like blew his mind. But after that, it just goes downhill. There is nothing to do after that.
Yeah,
it's just the same shit.
It's fucked.
Yeah. It's basically fucked up after that, and all the trailers and all that shit was pure bullshit. I don't know if it had anything to do with the flooding or anything, but don't release, promise all these things, and then release the game in that state, and say it has all these features. You should have delayed it and said, hey, we lost a lot of work in this game because of the flood, so you have to wait maybe another year. You don't fucking do this if your game isn't ready.
To that effect, man, look at Pokemon Go and how huge that got so fast. As minimalistic interaction, minimalistic design, if they just took something really popular and turned it into a gold mine. And let's face it, it's a fucking gold mine. People have been banking on nostalgia for years. But if you're going to take something as vast and possible as a universe, you have got to have an end game. And it's the same thing I say about Gamergate. It's the same thing I say about every other thing. You have to have the end game. Because if you don't have the end, what the fuck was the point of playing the game?
Exactly.
I mean, look at Star Wars.
Yeah.
Look at the Star Wars galaxy. At the center of the galaxy, you know what's there in the center of the Star Wars galaxy?
No idea.
Planet, where all of the Force resides from. It's a freaking magical orb at the middle of the universe that nobody goes to because it's too strong with both the dark and light side of the Force. This is a gold mine of potential. Never showed up in the canon series. It's only showed up in Legends. Why? Because you take that mesmerizing idea, everybody wants to ask the question, well, why the fuck is it? And the reason is simple. Because it would fuck the entire universe if everybody became that strong. And it's like nerfing a game, man. If you get so powerful that the game's literally child's play, why do it? But you start out No Man's Sky with that capability to immediately just go grind the resources to max everything out, and then just nerf the rest of the game. And then somebody gets to the center of the universe, finds out there's no end game, spend all that time getting ready for this end game that's not even there.
Yeah, and what also really freaking made me angry was the promise of free. There was gonna be no paid DLC, and then like a few days after launch, he says, "Oh, by the way, we're probably gonna have some paid DLC." What the actual fuck?
I don't care about paid DLC. It's irritating as all fuck. If you're going to release a game, just release everything.
Yeah, it's not that I'm against DLC. It's just he promised that there will be free updates and and the gamers will be taken care of. But just after he smells the money, he changes his tune really fucking fast.
Oh yeah. But look at it like this. What if you released a free DLC? There was an update that put something in the center of the universe. Would you go for it?
I don't know. I would have to actually see if it's worth the content. I mean, but the way it is now, no.
Free DLC puts what he promised at the center of the galaxy. Would it be worth the download?
Well, that would be probably, yeah, if it's worth it. That would be actually worth buying the game for.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. Like the game's not finished in it anyway. Like I understand that this is not a finished fucking game, which is why I'm not even bothering again. Like I played it on somebody else's system, and it was so fucking boring. But in there, and it's put into a free DLC to finish the game. And then they released paid DLCs for, like, say, expansions to the universe, more diverse planets, that sort of stuff. And it's so much, like, say, $5 might be worth paying the $5 to download with the end game there, just to expand the time you could actually play the game and enjoy it. Like an $80 fucking game. It's not really worth the money, but in time, it'll go down in price. And when DLC starts coming out, it's going to go on sale, say 50% off. I might pay $40 for it.
Yeah, that's because that's what I did with Need for Speed. Now, this is kind of the same thing because even though I hate EA. Need for Speed had free DLC free DLC to the game, and I got the game like 50% off, 60%, something like that.
Nope.
And I actually really liked it, and that's why I looked at the gameplay and saw they had extra content, and I got a lot of hours out of it. So I think it was worth it. That's the type of stuff I think is totally acceptable when they're pretty much upfront about it. But I hate this.
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
Shit. That's what I.
New Game Plus mode for it, and it's all sorts of diverse planets. Or let's say they open it to third-party developers, people that do like mods. Mod that to shit, make all sorts of new planets specifically placed in the universe. With, like, say there's an anime planet, say there's an old-time monster planet. These things would be really cool to see, just to see other developers doing it, because they do it true to their vision rather than what No Man's Sky wants. And once you open this game to modding, trust me, it will be better, but years down the line before you ever touch it again.
what they should have done is had it from the start, would be possible from the start, and given gamers the opportunity. Basically, like a Minecraft type of game where, hey,
Yeah.
we made a universe, have fucking fun. It's endless, it's endless possibilities. But when you even lie about the multiplayer from the fucking get-go, I don't know if you saw, there were two streamers tried to find each other, and they were at the exact same space at the exact same time, and truly confirmed there was no multiplayer, even though it says on the box. It's such it's not even a tenth of the game of what they promised. When there's no multiplayer, there's no content, there's nothing in the center of the universe. There are animals and features missing. The races and wars where you could take sides, which they promise, and it's.
They released an unfinished game.
Yeah, an early access game for $60. Early access game for $60. And
but think about it like this: you pay $60, 5 years down the line, you've got the game. They've updated it all to hell. It's already a fantastic game. Then you've already paid the money. You already got the game. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you've already bought the game, don't refund, because maybe at least. At most, 10 years down the line, mods are going to have gotten a hold of it. And the moment mods get a hold of it, that game becomes an entirely new game, because it becomes like Minecraft. And, man, it would be freaking amazing.
Yeah, that is true. But, I mean, if you take a look at consoles, they don't have the same opportunities.
Console gamers, you're fucked. Take it to GameStop, see what you can get out of it. Make up what you can. But get that shit on PC. Coming up on it. You see it on sale for $20 at your local game store at a freaking PC version. Buy it. Yeah, because the moment mods get a hold of it.
It kind of goes back to where the journalists themselves, who are actually supposed to be for the consumers, aren't actually doing their job. And the mainstream, where you can't. I mean, if you can't even get a hashtag or a consumer vote for gaming, right? How the hell do you can you expect the media to get a presidential election and get the facts right there? I mean. How hard is it to describe Gamergate? It's a hashtag created because gamers, ethical journalism.
Game journalism.
Yeah, basically. It is that simple. You can put it in 1 or 2 lines so people know what it is when you're referencing or talking about it in something else. But they've not even fucking gotten that right. I don't even understand that, and I can't even fathom it that people are that skewed either politically, or they're that fucking retarded that they can't see that people making money off of this is.
I offer you a third possibility. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
To do with their ethics. It's got nothing to do with what they want to happen. It's all about money, because that's what the main media is. It's about money. If they can't get advertising dollars on it, why would they bother? And I understand it on a level. I don't necessarily approve of it, but I get it. You know, they want to get the money, and right now the most people shuffling around money are the social justice people. We don't shuffle around our money. We're more frugal than that. And if they can get the same amount of bank that they do from the social justice community that they would from us as gamers, then stuck with dealing with this.
Yeah, that's actually a fair point. Um, but I see, like I have an axe to grind with GameSpot, but they've changed their content very much the last few years. Or even, I mean, Kotaku is even tanking because I don't know what happened, but if you look at their viewers, they've been consistently going down, and even with the social justice crowd backing them, Polygon as well.
Well,
Yeah.
think about it like this, man. Social justice doesn't give a shit. They don't give a shit about video games. They're all about their activism. So
Oh
why
yeah,
the hell?
I totally agree.
Their
Just
main audience.
yeah. Hey, Prof. Nako, how are you doing?
Good, good. And I was going to chime in at this point to just pretty much say what Orange said, that they don't give a crap. They don't. They're going to demand you change this and change that and change this and change that and kowtow to their whatever they want you to kowtow to. And when you're all done and all your fans are gone, you're going to go like, fine, we did everything you said. Are you going to buy our product now? And I'm like, I don't even like that product.
Yeah,
That's kind of the thing. And the end game for the social justice community is the collapse of the gaming community. You keep up with this freaking... with no games to speak of, except for the ones that we have to fucking make.
yeah, but
Yeah, and that's another thing about the gaming industry as well. If you're not going to provide the product that people want, someone else is.
Yeah, I mean, but the options right now are either the companies like Activision or EA, which take content out of their games and sell it as DLC and have DRM or all that anti-consumer shit, or we have the SJW crowd who run the journalism side of things, where they want to censor, shame, and basically burn everything to the ground. What the fuck do we have to choose from when the journalists aren't criticizing their the companies, and the companies don't give a shit. They just cut content, and only the thing they care about at the end of the day, again, is the money.
That's kind of what you're stuck with, is people who just want the money. I mean, look at YouTube's whole demonetization thing. That's really just a ploy for everybody to go over to YouTube Red.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really look at it, I mean, YouTube Red is a referential medium. I mean, if you're one of the bigger YouTubers, it's probably the best way to go. But you know, for the little people like me and you and the other people that have less than 1 million subscribers, it's not hard to do. And we don't have the kind of people. So when you cut out that advertising money, which frankly is not something you should ever bank on. My videos aren't monetized because why the hell would they be? I'm not big enough to get the clicks to make anything over to maybe 50 cents a year. But a huge YouTuber, I would not fucking have ads on my content because it's fucking pointless. You can't count on that money. Because at any time, YouTube can change its terms and service and completely screw you out of it. That's why they have the Patreons for the content providers. That's why they have the GoFundMe shit for the ones who are going to do some big project. And they've got little third-party things. That's why some people put PayPal donation links in their freaking things. That's because that's more steady of an income. They can count on their audience to help out occasionally. But if you're sitting there trying to, get them to
Patreon.
Yeah, it's a Patreon. Like that's the thing. Like Patreon is actually a wonderful site to get your content supported by your audience. And if your audience is actually going to support that content, then fucking let them. And if Patreon won't keep you on there because the social justice people keep fucking you over, set up a goddamn PayPal and tell them, look, donate what you can when you can, and every little bit helps improve my channel. And then there you go. YouTube advertising is the fuck out the window. The only thing that we could actually do as a community to stop this bullshit would be to completely demonetize every fucking channel on their own anyway, eventually. Just demonetize your fucking channel. They're not taking people down. They're just demonetizing them.
Or put on ad block and do it that way.
Well, yeah, ad block is a thing, but you have to think, if your channel's monetized, and they can take that monetization at any time, that is a carrot, and the stick is taking your monetization away. That kind of power over your channel, then you are going to end up one day not having that support anymore. Look at Markiplier, look at Jacksepticeye, look at PewDiePie, all these big, huge YouTubers who joined YouTube Red. Now look at the other huge YouTubers that didn't, but still had monetized video and started getting a shitload of their videos taken down. They freaked the fuck out because that's where they're getting their money. Why is that where they're getting their money? Because they've monetized their channels. Demonetize. Set up a Patreon, set up a fucking PayPal, and there you go. You're set. Because your audience, if they can, will help you out. And if they start helping you out a lot, make more content. And I guarantee you that money will keep on flowing as long as you keep pumping out content. I mean, fuck it, man. It's just, they're going to take the monetization away, fucking take the stick out of their hand and slap them with it. Your videos, they're not making money on your videos either.
And that's actually a really good point. Because if people don't, if the big ones are getting money through alternative means, I mean, the Rubin report is actually getting money enough they don't have to monetize. So they don't give a shit if, or Dave Rubin doesn't give a shit if his videos gets demonetized, because he's gonna survive without it. So
that's the thing, man. Like, hit them where it hurts, which is their fucking wallets. Hit them in their wallets. Every fucking thing.
Goddamn cats.
Look, I've had to demonetize all my content. So if you can help out, here's the link to a PayPal where you can make direct donations, and here's a Patreon link if you want to support. If you don't have to. Content creation. People will fucking pay for that shit. Look at us now. How often do we actually pay for cable still? We pay for cable. How many of us fucking watch it all the time? Enough to be paying 60, 70 bucks a month for fucking cable. Network TV. $10 a month for a Netflix account. $10 a month for a Hulu account. Fuck it. Pay $10 a month. Fucking spread them up against 10 YouTubers. Give each of them $1 a month. Fucking 10 people do that, they've got $10. 100 people do it, they got $100.
Yeah.
They've got the content they can make, and they can make it if they're supported. And if they're not supported by enough people, they can either choose to keep making content or quit. I mean, am I the dick here with this concept? With, you know, well, if YouTube's going to be a bitch about it, then fucking make them suffer for being a bitch about it.
I can't really disagree with you, because you're making really good points. Let's see. We've been going over an hour now. I don't know if there's anything more to say on this. I think we've had a pretty good discussion on this topic. I don't want to welcome us stay with having too long boring conversations. is there anything you guys want to add to this before we close this? I could add your channel if you give it to me. I could add it later in the description if they want to check out your channel.
Yeah.
But is there anything you guys want to add before we close this?
Yeah. Something I want to chime in is that a lot of people seem to neglect, or they get worried, or get scared or something because they think that when corporate entities control the content, they don't really have much control over what they say. But people always seem to forget just how powerful the consumer is in all of this. Like with YouTube, they're like, oh, we're going to cut your monetization, so you're forced to go to YouTube Red. Well, they think that since YouTube is so big and popular that, well, everyone's just going to shut up and stick with it because they're the only option that they have. And as we saw with Dig in the past, that stuff doesn't work on the internet when starting up a website is very simple in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, let's. I can actually mention that before we close, because I've seen other websites like VidMe or Vid.me, something like that, welcoming
Vimeo and
YouTubers.
Dailymotion and shit.
Huh?
Dailymotion and Vimeo and that kind of shit.
Yeah, and but VidMe actually made a video saying, "Hey, YouTubers, come over here. We don't really fucking censor." And they had swearing in their official video, which was kind of hilarious, trying to get people. I just uploaded I uploaded my video there just for the shits and giggles. But we also have Minds.com, which computing forever, where you can upload your videos, your photos. You can have conversations, and they aren't limited to 140 characters. So that seems to be an alternative, which I'm gonna use at least.
Yeah, I'm pretty fond of it.
Because Twitter is fucking cancer. Facebook is censoring shit left and right. And YouTube is demonetizing, and we have the shit with the fair use. We have copyright shit. We have DMCA shit, and there are gonna be other sites now that are gonna see this stuff, and they're gonna think, hey, come to our site. We're gonna give you money, and you're gonna earn money. And you don't have to be on this shitty side where you're guilty until proven innocent, and you get the money taken away from you just because you said fuck in a video. So
I'm gonna issue a little challenge to anybody out there who wants to do this. It's September, right?
Yeah.
All right. For October, since, because it's me and because, of course, there's Halloween coming up, let's go ahead and start something called hashtag OrangeTube. And what this is going to be is like a challenge. And the challenge of it is going to be you have to demonetize everything for the full month of October. I don't care about if after October you remonetize your videos, but this is a challenge to every big YouTuber out there. Demonetize your entire channel for 1 month. You may just get YouTube to reconsider their bullshit. Worried and concerned about YouTube taking your channel and demonetizing a couple of videos, hit them where it hurts. Hit them where it hurts and demonetize your entire channel. Because if enough YouTubers do it, if enough high-level YouTubers do it, completely demonetize for 1 month, fuck, for 1 day, they would take notice. Because when you demonetize, you take ads off your video. All ads. Which means YouTube isn't making money off it either. So, hashtag OrangeTube in the month of October, and just demonetize your old channel. Let's see who can actually pull that off.
That would be something to see if the big YouTubers would do something like that. I kind of doubt it because
I know it's started at least because even PewDiePie got pretty ticked and did a full shitlord video.
If Felix wants to freaking, demonetize, that would make YouTube shit itself.
Yeah. I mean, all it takes is just someone with that much. People can hate PewDiePie as much as they want. Just hate him, but then
you guys got pulled.
If someone, he's influential. That's what I can say. No matter how much you hate him, he's influential. He's got a large fan base. PewDiePie. I mean, personally, he seems like a nice guy overall. I mean, his voice is very grating, and when he screams, I lose an eardrum. But the person behind the person, yeah, he seems like a nice guy. If he backs out, if the other massive gaming YouTuber Markiplier decides to just pack up and demonetize his stuff, I mean, it seems like he'd be a big target for the demonetization stuff, because in his videos he says fuck a lot as well.
Yeah, like, that's the thing, a lot of his videos have got tags that could be considered not advertiser friendly.
Yeah, if they attack Markiplier, then the Screaming Children fan base is going to just flip.
Oh yeah, they'll freaking explode.
Well, okay, actually, PewDiePie is the Screaming Children, Markiplier is the Screaming Teenagers. I don't know who would fit in with the adult gamer crowd, but
as a note, and Greydall.
Yeah.
Somebody from the chat asked if you've seen the ABC's video attempting to demonize Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yeah, that was pretty pathetic.
I haven't seen that yet. As I've said, I've been working the last few days. I have a Chrome tab set up, which is consisted of 20 videos, which I have to go through to catch up on stuff. So I have to watch some of that stuff because I have no idea what's been happening in the last few days.
Yeah, my job's actually going to get exciting next week because I actually get to mess around with spaceship parts.
Nice.
Have fun with that.
Well, it's an inventory job, so I'm only taking inventory of it, but
yeah.
Still, spaceship parts. Yay.
What say we convene in a couple of weeks and try this again with a little more information?
Yeah, I feel that all it really takes is one domino effect to make YouTube realize, oh, crap.
Yeah, we done fucked up.
I mean, PewDiePie, I believe, is on YouTube Red, as is...
Yeah, Mark is too.
Yeah, but
if
you piss them off, they can just step away. Remember, they have enough have influence.
Yeah, but what if just PewDiePie demonetized his next video or next 5 videos? YouTube would shit.
Like I said, yeah, they would have some serious issues, and like the thing of it is take the next, like I said, a month, just 1 month. Even if you put out 1 video a week. And you've monetized everything else. Nothing during that month. Anything you release, don't monetize it. Fucking walls fall.
Yeah.
Because the moment that shit starts happening is the moment YouTube backs down.
Yeah,
because if they're not making money.
When it comes to investors and board of directors and stuff like that, remember, they don't really give a rat's ass what you're doing. All they care about is that you're generating a profit and you're not doing anything completely illegal that will get all the board of directors put in prison.
Yeah.
Follow those 2 rules, and the board of directors will basically not involve themselves in your company at all. They'll just come back every time. It's like
it's the same.
The profits change.
Yeah, look at what happens when Gamergate started sending out all those emails to advertisers, and advertisers started pulling out of these, doing this crap. But the moment that the advertisers start pulling out, that people reconsider shit. And the moment that the wallet gets hit, that's the moment they back down. And if we're going to back down YouTube, something as big as it is, running with Google, the only way we're going to be able to do that is we've got to talk to people that, you know, have these huge channels and just get them to start releasing free content. Shit that you wouldn't see otherwise. Shit that would go on YouTube Red. Shit that would go, you know, seriously freaking monetized. Hit them where it hurts. Hit them in the wallet, because that's when they back down. I mean,
Yeah.
one big YouTuber, 10 smaller YouTubers, 1,000 non-influential YouTubers. Everybody that is in this community that we are a part of that deals with this just a month. Think about how much YouTube monetization really helps you. And then go, maybe I should just release a month's worth of videos without monetization and see if it does anything. You'll never know until you try.
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna leave on that note. I think we have had a fruitful discussion.
Fruitful.
Well, at least if something is gonna come out of this, because it's not a bad idea to actually try to convince someone of demonetizing their channel. Because, goddamn,
I'm saying we all freaking do it.
Yeah.
Like anybody we can get.
Well, I'm gonna. Well, we are shitlords after all. So I'm gonna leave. That's the name of this stream. Anyways, is there anything you want to share before we close the stream?
Echo, anything?
Not really. I don't have much to say. I just popped in because I felt like it. I was playing Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and I realized that just how much of a Shin Megami game it is. Yeah, I go into a random encounter, and the fight starts by the first enemy who attacks uses an attack that does 800 damage to all my party members. And all my parties and my entire party only has an HP of 300 each.
That sounds about some bullshit.
Well, it's a Shin Megami game, and I picked hard mode.
Well, that's your own fault.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting to the point in the game when you're starting to get access to null element weapons. So, yeah, I gotta start using them.
Alright. Yeah. Orange, do you have anything to show?
Well, since he's cutting out, look for my channel. It's the Orange. That's all I can say.
Alrighty. I think we're gonna leave on that note. Thanks everyone for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.